Well, I'm here with Lina Fouro. Her debut album, The Love Cycle, was released last fall, and now she is well underway on a new EP that's taking a bit of a different direction than her last work. And we're just going to talk a bit about that. So, hi, Lina. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So oftentimes in their lives, artists see sort of warning signs throughout the earlier years. What were some of yours that were sort of leading up to you becoming a musician?
I would say the warning signs, well, I thought they were normal signs, not really warning signs. I guess it started just growing up at home. My mom, she'd just sing, and some of the songs were her own, and she'd just make it up. And she had a tape recorder. And I thought it was like something everyone did. And so just I kind of, grew up a little bit more, and then I had my own little recorder, and I got into writing. So like that was just a part of me from a very long time, and I thought it was normal and everyone did it, to be honest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you had a musical family then?
Yes, definitely. A lot of music and poets in my family. Yeah.
So how were they when you sort of decided to take music a little more seriously?
Well, that was a little different because it's more like of a hobby, something you do after work or at home or something, and it's something that nobody knows about, right? So I had a large portion of my life, it was like something like nobody knew about because it was like my secret hobby. So, and I think that was the point where it's hard to break through because you're like, wait a minute, this is so personal, right? On such a big scale level. Yeah. Like, how would you feel like to put it out and have others critique it and possibly, have put their own perspective or judgment on it?
So your debut album did drop last fall.
Yes,
super great. And it's called The Love Cycle.
Yes.
So what exactly is The Love Cycle?
Well, okay, so the album itself, it took a period of time for me to write it out. And at the end of it, like I think just about the end of the album, I kind of like locked myself in my room for like 3 months straight. And it's actually pretty sad, and I can't even believe I did it. But I guess it was like a point where like it was like, again, very personal, all my kind of life experiences, what I was feeling at the time. And then when I actually looked at the whole 13 tracks, I was like, oh my God, like I couldn't believe it because I looked at it, I'm like, this is what I took in school. It's like aligned to the Kubler-Ross theory, the model, the cycle, the stages of grief, 5 stages of grief. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like, I came full circle. I went through the whole love cycle. And then that's what it just showed me, like I had an epiphany, like everything is a cycle,
Absolutely,
and it has a beginning and it has an end, and you never know, it could go back to the same routine, right? And it's always a cycle because everything has an ending, everything has a beginning, and I literally went through those 5 stages. So like denial, bargaining, anger, depression, and acceptance. And I feel like now, just even knowing that in itself, like at any point, if I'm in any situation, I can like definitely overcome.
See it that way.
Yeah, and you can overcome things way more quick, and I think this album is like pretty much a tool for that.
Absolutely. That's super cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
So there's 13 tracks.
Yes.
What would you say that whether it be lyrically or musically, what are you the most proud of looking back at this?
Wow. It really changes because sometimes, like when you work on things and then like if you work on things too hard and then you become like your worst critic, right? And then you'll shelf it for a while and you're like, I'm not just going to listen to this anymore.
Yeah.
And then you come back to it. And it's certain tracks that like then I surprise myself, right? And I would say it always changes, but I'm really happy with the first single, Boom, I would say, because I really didn't expect for it to like be like really accepted.
It's done pretty well.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so I'm really happy with that, and I'm actually happy with like my other single that I released, High. It did well too, and now with In Time, I would say is one of my favorite tracks because again, it comes from a time in my life where literally like I didn't know like I had a vision, but I was so far away from that. It was kind of hard to like believe in it.
Yep.
Right. And I said to myself, it's like we have nothing now, but it will come in time, and everything we need to know, we will know in time. So like it was like my motivation to keep going, and I knew like I was gonna prove to myself that it was worth it in time.
It paid off for sure. I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Boom, you mentioned the single off of The Love Cycle.
Yes.
The video for that, kind of cool. It's pretty cool. And it was
you.
filmed in LA.
Yeah.
How was that?
That was an awesome experience because I had recorded the track, and then it was kind of like the first few people that I was like, hey, this is what I'm doing. They were like, okay, they snatched the idea. They loved it. Next thing you know, I'm in LA, and I'm like, wait a minute, what just happened? Like that's pretty neat how the transformation can happen real quick. And then it's just different how, you have everyone on set, and the dynamics of meeting everybody, the dancers, the producers. There was a lot of people to make that happen because it was a one-shot video. And I changed 3 times in that video.
I noticed that. I was wondering. I was like, there has to be some sort of trickery behind that.
There wasn't. It was I would say that was actually our last shot, because if we had not gotten that on that shot, everything was like messing up all day. The balloon would pop. Everything that could go wrong. When you change, it's hard to change in 15 seconds. And but at the end of it, it's just it was the last take, and I literally was like, please,
all or nothing.
Please don't make this happen. But we did it, and it ended up amazing, more than I had ever anticipated.
So are there any other locations that you've dreamed of going to shoot for a video since then?
Oh yeah, I'm very into nature, so I really would love to incorporate some really amazing nature shots in my video. So yeah, anything, and there's a lot of places in Canada that I would love to showcase, because I am a Canadian artist, and I want to showcase more of that.
The patriotism there.
Absolutely, yeah.
So since Boom came out, you have released a new single, In Time.
Yes.
Taking a bit of a different direction.
Yes.
So sort of walk us through why they're different and what the future looks like.
Okay, well, so Boom is more like a pop feel, I would say, but it has its stance. But In Time is more of the EDM route, and why that happened, it's kind of again, this is just what I'm into. I'm into the pop and the EDM, and there's 2 sides of it. So, and that was the thing in the Love Cycle. I try to bring it all together, so it's like an electro pop feeling.
Absolutely.
And then it worked well, but again, I feel like there's areas that I want to focus on,
branch out on more,
and on both, right? So it's really actually awesome, because now I can focus. I'm doing an EDM EP, and I'm doing a strictly different pop EP with Lonnie Zoke, which is also the executive producer for the Love Cycle. So it's gonna have 2 different sounds and 2 different EPs.
So you're working on both of those right now?
I am.
How's that going? How far along are we?
We're right now in the early stages of both, but it's really good, because it shows there's a great, I've learned a lot in the last few years. There's a lot of music theory that I've incorporated in my techniques now, going through it, because before it was just me kind of picking out tracks and doing whatever I want on that. But now I'm trying to find more of my sound, and it's really cool. It's coming along great, and it's an evolution.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So obviously there's got to be a lot of people that you're working with on these albums.
Yes, there is, and it's just great. Every day I'm very grateful for the people that I come across, because they're teaching me such valuable things that now I can apply that. And it's just gonna show, because before I couldn't understand how to make things that much stronger. And every single day, I'm lucky enough to come across, people that are showing me exactly what I need to do.
Lots of support.
Absolutely. So I'm in a really good place, and I'm very happy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. Yeah. So before you started working on your own album, way back whenever that was, you did some work with other artists, some backup stuff?
Yes, I did. Yes.
So now that you're a little further into the spotlight, who are some of your dream collaborations? Think Dead or Alive, as crazy as it can be.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, come on, you guys. This one we have to say, it's Michael Jackson.
Course.
Come on.
Okay.
Another one which I think, because he's dead. So let's pick someone who's alive.
On the other hand.
And another idol of mine is Madonna. If you could have, I know she's, doing a lot of collabs out there, but I would love, to have that opportunity with her, just to say, Madonna.
Yeah, I worked with Madonna. I'm awesome.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here at the X, we are big fans of your newest single, In Time.
Thank you.
Want to introduce it?
Yes, absolutely. You're listening to In Time by Lina Fouro on 106.9 DX.